Good morning, everyone. We're Group 4. For our presentation, we will be discussing Appleby and colleagues' study on the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on the experience and mental health of university students in Canada and the UK. Some background information: COVID-19 was first identified in 2019 in China, and since then there's been substantial growth in cases around the world. The restrictions imposed to limit transmission have created significant challenges for universities and its students. So the objective of this study is to explore the impact the pandemic had on uni students at Queen's University and the University of Oxford. The authors do this by looking at the learning experiences, lifestyles, future opportunities, and mental health of students. And they hypothesize that the COVID-19 pandemic has negatively impacted the university experience and mental health of students. The authors rationalized their study by stating it is the first cross-country comparison of its kind, which is useful since countries adapted to the spread of COVID differently. Also, the aftermath of the pandemic will likely have long-lasting effects on university students, and this study encourages a future for students that does not compromise academic or social quality of the uni experience.
The study design in this article is an observational, cross-sectional study in which university students were observed at a single point in time. The study used an ongoing longitudinal study survey of undergraduate students at Queen's University in Canada and first-year undergraduate students at Oxford University in the UK, and added COVID-19 related questions to the UFlourish Student Wellbeing and Academic Success online survey to distribute to students. The exposure in this study is the COVID-19 pandemic. Though not explicitly stated, the primary outcome studied was mental health and well-being of students, and the secondary outcome was academic performance and learning experiences. The confounding variables in the study were student gender, age, and year of study, as these variables all have the potential to influence mental health, coping mechanisms, and academic performance. In this study, RStudio was used to perform the primary analysis, and descriptive statistics were then used to describe the sample and responses to the pandemic anxiety scale and COVID-19 impact items. Proportional differences between strata were examined using chi-square tests.
The study examined data from 3,013 Queen's undergrad students and 339 Oxford students. The majority of participants in the Queen's sample were female, age 19, and mostly domestic students in their first or final year of study. In comparison, the Oxford sample was entirely made up of first-year students, the majority of whom were female and age 18. Students have shared that the COVID-19 pandemic has had a detrimental impact on their academic learning experiences, future academic and job prospects, hobbies and leisure activities, finances, and mental health. Collectively, these factors underscore the negative impacts on the mental health and well-being of students during the pandemic. In addition, the study examined the level of compliance with government guidelines and self-isolation practices among the participants. Age-stratified analysis revealed that female Queen students demonstrated a higher likelihood of adhering to government recommendations and practicing self-isolation compared to their male counterparts. These trends were also observed among Oxford students. These significant gender-based differences observed between strata may be a result of heightened levels of anxiety experienced by female students. Studies have also indicated that females may be more susceptible to COVID-19 related anxiety and depression, which could contribute to their increased adherence to public health protocols. The authors also discovered that female students were significantly more concerned about the long-term effects of the pandemic on their future academic and job prospects. The results further revealed that age-related differences were also present based on year of study, with upper year students expressing similar concerns. We believe that these worries stem from a lack of job opportunities in comparison to previous years, as well as an increased competition for graduating with less work experience and less academic experience.
The authors conclude that the pandemic had a severe detrimental effect on university students' mental health. Surveys showed high levels of anxiety, depression, and stress since COVID 19 in all populations, but much higher in the female population. They state that the COVID 19 pandemic negatively affected students' education and personal professional lives even after graduation. Many students also disliked online learning due to limited engagement with instructors and financial concerns. The authors do highlight the importance of providing mental health resources to students during and after the pandemic. Although this study is the first study to compare the effects of the pandemic, it only included data from two countries, Canada and the UK, so it can't be generalized to other populations. The study also relied on self reported data, which can lead to social desirability and recall bias. Lastly, while the response from Queen's was from a diverse population of undergrad students, the population size from Oxford was only first year students. The authors cite many literatures such as King et al. 2021, McManus et al. 2020, and many more. They all agree that high number of females and older students felt more worried and concerned about the pandemic, as well as their future career prospects. Also, that online learning led to a lack of engagement with others. In contrast, the authors did not cite any literature that contradicted their findings. All in all, the authors acknowledge the need for future research to replicate and build on their findings and to explore the experiences and mental health of university students in other contexts and time periods. The big picture from this article is that there needs to be more resources and support to help with the mental health challenges in the future, not just for a pandemic, but for daily life.